welcome today to All Things Apostolic on Thursday, October the 12th. We're glad that you have joined us, and we are going to have a good time today. We always have a good time here, meeting together. We, meaning Wilson University, are right smack dab in the middle of a WSCUC site visit, even while I'm talking to you. And I just got through meeting with Dr. Greg, who's the head of the site visit team from WSCUC. It was a one-on-one meeting. We had two of those in these 3 days of meetings. Well, I'll have one more tomorrow, so there's three one-on-one meetings. Then there's meetings of all kinds. I'll be happy to talk about it a little bit and tell you how a site visit goes. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. So they're all out there right now. The whole administrative team and the board met yesterday. The Wilson University board met yesterday with the committee, and then different academic pieces met with them, the people that lead those things. We've had students meet with them. We've had faculty members meet with them. And then all of us have met with them. And then there's different things they want to know. For example, we have some really equipment that we use. I'm not just talking about mechanical equipment. I'm talking about platforms, and I'm talking about programs that are used on the internet for taking care of finances, programs for taking care of student enrollment and keeping up with student data and faculty data, and did I say financial data, all of these things, and marketing and mailing lists and people that receive things, and there's computer programs for all of this stuff. It's not cheap. It's expensive stuff. These things, one of them is $30,000 a year. Another one's $25,000 a year, $24,000 a year, and another one is at least that, maybe more. But this is how, if you're going to talk about being world class, then you're going to have to, put your money where your mouth is. And so, while the site visit team is here, they go through all of this stuff. For example, they just now finished a demonstration. Our people demonstrated their ability to run these complex platforms and programs and software that it's just incredible, all the things that they can do to keep you organized and to keep you moving forward. Then they just had a session on that where they demonstrated they knew how to use this, and here's how it works, and so forth. Well, the site visit team has people that use all this stuff and are very highly trained in it. So they know what you're doing, and they know what level of expertise that this reveals that you have in using this equipment. All of that. So it's not enough to have it. You have to know how to use it, and you have to demonstrate that you are using it. That's just one little piece. They go through how academic programs are set up. They go through assessment is a big deal. They go through how much shared governance is there in the institution. Do people have a voice that they can express themselves with things that they feel like could be done better or different or whatever. So this is part and parcel of what it takes to be an accredited institution. Now, we look at it, some people look at the accrediting institution as an enemy or somebody that's just making it hard on them. But we sincerely have found them to be a blessing to us, because they know so much about how to put things together. So it doesn't matter whether you're apostolic or not. There's some things that have to be put together organizationally and structurally, and ways to know how solid and sound an institution is financially, and how credible, how much rigor is involved in their courses, and what's the qualifications of their instructors, and on and on. It's a long list. It's hundreds and hundreds of things. So I may have mentioned this before, but I'll just do it again because we're in the middle of it. But so they have 40 CFRs, which is an acronym. It's 40 like packets of things that you have to have correct before you can be accredited. Well, in that 40, they may have 20 things under each one of those 40. So now you're into hundreds of things. They may have 100 things under one of those 40. So it's an enormous amount of information and of requirements to be capable of operating correctly. Now, they don't care about the content. They don't have, there's never been one word uttered about being apostolic or being Pentecostal or being faith-based. They don't care. They've never checked out one time. They've never had one issue with any of those things. It's that the processes. They want a student that starts in this school 4 years from now, if it's a BA degree, that would be normal. 4 years from now, to be able to leave and this school still be here and still be sound, and they can get a diploma, and it didn't fall apart in the middle. And so these are the things that they look at. So they were here 18 months ago. This is our second site visit, and we have made great strides. On the first one, and this was pretty remarkable, out of the 40 criteria for review, CFR, out of the 40 CFRs, we passed 24 of those at the accreditation level. Now, there's a level just that's pre-accreditation, but that you can get, which is, if we get that, we'll be tickled too. But this first 24 was at the accreditation level. So when they come back this time, yesterday, they came back and said, we're not dealing with any of those. We're only dealing with the 16 that remained that you still had work to do on. Most of the work we had to do was on things that are a cycle, and they take so much time before you can assess them. So we had not been going long enough to get that assessment on the level that we needed to. So that's mainly what the 16 were about. Well, now this time when they came back, there's been enough time for those cycles. So they've looked through all of those things. This is my opinion. Tomorrow we'll know more. We really won't know whether we received pre-accreditation or accreditation. We won't know that until February. That's when the accrediting commission meets, is in February and of 2024. However, tomorrow they will tell us what they think, and they will tell us what they are going to write in their report. Well, that report goes a long ways in determining whether or not we are accredited or not. And so we will have a pretty good idea of where we stand and what the site visit team is going to recommend to the commission. We'll have a pretty good idea of that by tomorrow. So Monday we got to have a report on it. So you don't want to miss Monday. But we've done a lot of things since they were here before. We've had 2 part-time people that we made full-time. They wanted people that we hired to have more higher ed experience. So we hired one of our vice presidents, Dr. Denise Wolf. She has 10 years of higher ed experience. She's doing an incredible job, and goes to Rock Church North. Her and her husband, they are the head of Saved and Sober. Great people that have a mission. And so she's been with us now for a number of months and is just an incredible addition to the school. So we've got all of that. There's been I just mentioned software and programs and so forth that have been purchased, and some of them leased. You don't want to purchase it because it keeps having updates and improvements all the time. Kind of like buying a Tesla. It's the downside is that you don't know if they're watching you through your screen. I mean, the downside is that they're always giving you messages on your car about push this button to do an update, but it gets updated while you're driving. It gets better. So that's one of the reasons for the leasing of some of this equipment instead of the purchase of it. We've done a lot of things. I'm sitting in a temporary studio. Every time you have watched All Things Apostolic, I've been in a temporary studio, but I'm in a new temporary studio today because we expanded. We doubled our room, and this is one of the new rooms. The other one was not as large as this one, so it was taken and split in two, and now it's two offices. We were short on office space. Everybody was crammed in together. Now we've got twice as much space, and it's just tremendously better. So, all these things we get checked on. We got checked on what they call institutional advancement, which means do you have people that are understanding the value of your school and are contributing to that school. So this is how schools operate. In apostolic ranks, sometimes we don't quite know how the university would operate. But those universities, to maintain their accreditation, 20% of their income minimum has to be from sources outside of tuition. You can't just run a university out of tuition. And we're happy to report that at this site visit, the money outside of tuition by which we are running this institution is 40% and above the tuition, which is an incredible figure. And we want it to get 500% above the tuition before it's over. But it's because we now have a group of alumni. We have alumni that have moved into effective ministry. They are successful. They see and know what value the school's been to them and continues to be to them in their life, and will continue, God willing, for the rest of their life. They know that, and they see that, and all of that together makes them say, I've got young ministers coming up in my church. I've got young business people coming up. I've got younger people that they all need to understand the leadership concepts and stuff that is in the Wilson University package. They're going to need it just like I needed it. My grandkids are going to need it. I need to support this school, that this school could continue to give out these things. So we don't make any bones about it. Everything we do, we try to do on a world-class level. And if you want to know the results, you just look at the people that are graduates and look if they're pastors, look at the churches, and see how they are doing. Look around and see if that's the norm or if it's considerably above the norm. And also, BAM is a big deal here. We're just getting BAM really off the ground, but it'll be in a robust presentation to people. Business as mission. We believe everybody's called to leadership, and so we have already been working on this with other folks that are working on FAM. Not all of them directly in the university here, but they're in the orbit of the apostolic development of FAM. Tremendous people working together, and this is going to be a revolutionary. It's going to be transforming to the entire apostolic movement, along with the other pieces that are all working. So it's a big deal. We've got CAP, Center for Apostolic Pentecostal Studies, that is now receiving in government called white papers, but they're actually documents, doctrinal documents, and on biblical subjects and other subjects, sociological subjects, but they're taken from a biblical viewpoint. And all of this is coming together. Pretty soon there will be a large accumulated amount of tremendous materials that are available to everybody and many of them will be available free. So all together, people see this and they say, we want to give to the university. The giving to the university is higher now than it has ever been. And the volume, the amount of dollars that are being given. So we need you to join us. The movement needs a tremendously robust university that combines practicality with more esoteric things like theological teaching and so forth, and puts those together. A university that understands that over here you've got to have form, and that form comes cognitively. You think things through and you structure it. Over here, you've got to have dynamics, form, dynamics. And over here is life and revival and the supernatural and miracles and the world of the spirit. We're developing a whole, this is a way advanced announcement, and it's several years away. We're developing a whole doctoral program that deals with the world of the spirit. And that's the world we operate in as Pentecostal. We believe that behind every evil leader, there is an evil spirit. And it's not really about the flesh and blood man or woman that's standing there. It's about the forces that are pushing them and controlling them. Not trying to sound spooky, just telling you the way it is. And so understanding those things, that's all on a dynamic side. Spirit-led, that's on the dynamic side. Over here, well, I read it in the Word. You don't have to worry about it. It's solid. It's there. The Bible, the Word of God. So this side never conflicts with this side. Anytime you say, I've got a spiritual experience that conflicts with what the Word says over here, nay. That's why you need a man of God to tell you you need your pastor. And he will do so to tell you, look, that's not cool. If you think you're getting something from God that doesn't agree with the Word of God, then you've got the wrong spirit. Something's weird about you. You're off. You need to straighten up, and you need correction. So all of this is part and parcel of what we're doing. There are people that have no idea how wonderfully deep and profound is apostolic doctrine. When you get into it and just keep going deeper, you just find the Bible is a wonderful, full of wonder book. So that's what we're doing today. I've got a little break here. They're out there right now meeting and working and doing, and I'm very excited about it. And we will be reporting to you the results of this site visit, and hopefully it will be a good result. Pray, saints, that it's a good result. They will be giving us that result tomorrow. God bless you. Little update here. Thank you for being with us.